Update. Am I the a-hole for becoming indifferent towards my wife after discovering her affair? Original post. My 30 male wife, 34 female, and I have been together for 8 years, 5 of them married. I thought we were the kind of couple that could tell each other any problem. I loved her deeply and always believed she felt the same way about me. Like many couples, we had our ups and downs, but I never thought it could lead to infidelity. 4 months ago, I started noticing changes in her behavior. She was more distant, always glued to the phone and avoiding our conversations. You know, the typical thing about a cheating person. Well, one day I came across a message on her phone that confirmed that I feared the most. She was seeing someone else. It was like a punch in the stomach. I felt anger, sadness, and an overwhelming sense of betrayal. But instead of confronting her right away, I decided to wait. My main reason was to protect myself in a possible divorce. If I was going to face this situation, I wanted to have solid evidence. So I spent the next 2 months gathering messages, photos, and anything else I could use if things got legally difficult. During those 2 months, I pretended normality while the pain piled up. I watched her act like everything was fine, and with each passing day, my feelings for her faded. The love I once felt was replaced by indifference. If anyone says that love for someone doesn't go away, well, it's not entirely true. When I finally gathered all the evidence, I confronted her. I showed her everything I knew, and although she tried to deny it at first, she finally admitted that she had been having an affair. She said it was a mistake, that she still loved me, and that she wanted to work things out. But by then, I didn't feel anything anymore. I didn't scream, I didn't cry, I didn't even get angry. I simply told her that it was okay, that we could get a divorce, and that we could each move on with our lives. My lack of emotion baffled her. She said my indifference was cold and cruel, and that if I had truly loved her, I should have fought to save our marriage, which was ironic coming from her. But the truth was that I did love her, very much. Only after 2 months of living with a betrayal in silence, I just didn't care. Am I the a-hole for becoming indifferent towards my wife after discovering her affair? Now for the top comments before reading the updates. Not the a-hole. Remember this, the only reason she is sorry is because she got caught. And she wants to work on the marriage after she realized she was caught. Me thinks the affair partner doesn't want anything serious. More likely OP has money and the affair partner does not. Not the a-hole. The indifference you are feeling is probably a defense mechanism. Don't be surprised if you have a lot of different emotions. Good luck, OP. True, grief hits people differently and sometimes at the oddest moment. Now for the first update. Wow, honestly, I didn't expect the volume of messages I've received in the past few hours. I apologize for not being able to respond to each comment, but rest assured, I am reading them all. My inbox is flooded with hundreds of replies, and I'm truly moved by the support and by how many people took the time to share their experiences and opinions. At first, I felt overwhelmed reading so many stories from people who have gone through similar situations, some even worse. I never imagined that so many people could relate to what I'm experiencing. It's eye-opening to realize that infidelity is more common than I thought. And yes, there were also comments that made me question whether I disconnected emotionally too quickly. But after reflecting, I believe I did what I needed to do to protect myself. Some have told me I should have tried to save the marriage, but the truth is, I don't think I could have. The betrayal felt like a wall that went up between us, and once I saw everything clearly, there was no going back to what we once had. It's not that I don't want to love or be loved, it's just that the chapter with her is over for me. Does that make me cold? I don't know, but it's my truth. One of the most impactful realizations has been seeing how many people are stuck in relationships where trust has been broken and they feel lost in how to move forward. To everyone who asks how I'm handling it, I don't have a definitive answer. For me, it's been a slow process, day by day, watching the love fade until it was simply gone. I also received messages from people in my wife's position, those who made mistakes but genuinely want to make things right. It made me wonder what would have happened if I'd confronted her before my feelings faded. Maybe things would have turned out differently, but honestly, I doubt it. Once trust is broken like that, it's nearly impossible to go back to what it was. Anyway, I want to thank everyone who shared their words, whether supportive or critical. You've given me a lot to think about, and I'm grateful for that. I'm processing all of this bit by bit, but if there's one thing I'm sure of, it's that for the first time in months, I feel like I can breathe and look forward without the weight of what happened. Thank you again. Bro, just love your kids. I don't have children, but we plan to have them in the future. Also sorry for others' comments blaming you for the affair. It's amazing how they always blame the victim. Divorce is the right decision. That level of lowness isn't something worth trying for. Second update. Hi everyone. For those who don't know, I'm the guy whose wife cheated on him and I eventually became indifferent about it. I'm doing this mini update because many of you asked for one, but I'm feeling a bit lazy today, so don't expect a long one. To start, the divorce is in progress. The notice was delivered to her at a friend's house since the house we live in is mine, inherited from my mother's side. Regarding the divorce, she didn't take it well and called to tell me she would contest it, saying we weren't getting divorced. I didn't respond. I just hung up because hearing her voice bothered me in that moment. I read some comments saying indifference is a way to protect yourself from strong emotions, and I think they were right. After a few days, I started thinking about the time invested in my marriage, and I really got angry. For her, 8 years of relationship meant nothing. She was willing to throw it all away for someone else. For those curious, her lover is older, maybe 40 or 47, and he has a wife and kid. Honestly, I don't care what happens to him. Both he and my soon-to-be ex are trash that came out of the same landfill. Sorry I got angry writing this, so I took a break to calm down. Back to my soon-to-be ex, I really don't care if she contests the divorce. She's only making things harder for herself, since all our assets are separate, including the house where I live. For now, that's all I have to share. Thanks for the advice, and to those who commented that I should work things out with her, screw you. You don't get to decide for others, and frankly, it says more about your own issues. I'd rather divorce 1,000 times over than stay with someone who has no morals. Tell the wife of her lover, not the a-hole still, good luck in your divorce. She's a cheating POS. This and change the locks to your house. Maybe get some cameras. I have a sneaking suspicion that she might want to surprise you in a skimpy outfit in your house to pursue you. If she tries, call the police on her. I think she still thinks you will come around. Not the a-hole. Indifference is the ultimate power move. She made her choice, and now you're making yours, with a coolness that probably stings more than any argument would. Contesting a divorce from a house she doesn't own? That's next level denial there. Keep calm and let her handle the consequences of her own choices. Went through something similar. Indifference saved my sanity too. Stay strong. Focus on your peace and let her deal with the consequences. Contesting a divorce she can't win is just noise. You're doing what's best for you, and that's all that matters. Next story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to loan my sister money for a divorce lawyer after she cheated on her husband? My sister, 36 female, has been married to her husband, 38 male, for 12 years. They have 3 kids together, and up until recently, I thought they had a pretty solid marriage. But about 2 months ago, she confided in me that she's been having an affair with her boss. She claimed it started because her husband doesn't pay attention to her, but honestly, I think it's just excuses. Well, her husband found out last week. He's devastated and wants a divorce, which has put her in a bad financial situation. She's now asking me, 32 male, for a loan to help cover the cost of a divorce lawyer and some of her living expenses. I refused. I told her that I can't support what she did and that her actions have consequences. She got furious, called me judgmental, and said I'm abandoning her when she needs me most. Our parents think I'm being too harsh and should help family no matter what. Am I the a-hole for refusing to give her the money? If your parents think you're being too harsh and that family helps no matter what, then they can step up and help her fix her mistakes. Family helps family. Yeah, right. Who was helping your brother-in-law? Your sister has showed that she'll betray family for her own pleasure. Exactly. If my parents are so set on family helping family, they can go ahead and cover her lawyer fees. Funny how that rule only seems to apply when it's convenient for her. It's unfair to her kids and husband. Not the a-hole. Tell her to ask for a loan from her boss. Yeah, that's what I told her actually. He could lend her the money. Not the a-hole, and you should be judgmental because your sis is a piece of trash. It's not the first time she cheats on her partner. She did that on one of her first boyfriends, and I found that really disturbing. Not the a-hole. I mean, let's break this down. She didn't accidentally bump into an affair. She fully signed up for that plot twist herself. Now she's looking at you like her personal get-out-of-consequences-free card? Sounds like she's got commitment issues. Not to the other people's money, apparently. And your parents think you're being harsh? Right, because nothing says supportive family like bankrolling a cheating scandal. You're just politely reminding her that actions have, those things called consequences. It's like she's somehow shocked that there might be real-life consequences for breaking up her family. She didn't just slip into an affair. She chose this mess and now expects the family to rally around her like she's the victim here. And my parents are really pushing that family loyalty angle. But to me, loyalty doesn't mean blindly funding someone's mistakes. It's one thing to support family in times of hardship, but she created this situation. She was hoping I'd just bail her out with no questions asked, but that's not how it works. Maybe it's time she starts figuring out the commitment she's got to her own choices. Next story. Am I the a-hole for not helping my ex-husband with babysitting and telling him to F off? I used to be married to Tom, and I honestly thought we were happy. We had a great house, good jobs, close friends and family, everything, until we had our daughter. She was born with a disability that heavily restricted her physically and mentally. Tom, being the coward he is, left us. Only recently has he started paying child support. He got remarried and had 2 more daughters. I don't speak to him, nor do I need to. He never talks about his own child and basically ignores her existence completely. His wife has tried to include my daughter and me in their family, but I refuse. I don't like her and I focus on myself and my daughter. Now here's the problem. His eldest daughter from his second marriage was in a horrible car accident a few months ago. She survived but is in critical condition and still in a hospital. Tom approached me and asked if I could babysit his youngest since he and his wife need extra time to visit their other daughter. He offered to pay me. I told him I didn't have time to care for his child and suggested he call other family members. He begged me, saying his family lives too far away and I'm the only close person he knows. I told him that's not my problem and explained that my daughter isn't used to having new people in the house. She needs to know someone for a long time before she's comfortable, and I'm not putting her comfort at risk for his child. He called me selfish and said I was punishing him and his daughter. I told him he could think whatever he wanted, and I haven't spoken to him since. His family has been harassing me over this, but I don't think I'm wrong. They're fine with him being a deadbeat, yet they're giving me grief for not bending over backward for him. I'm here because I do feel a bit guilty, but I think that's just mom guilt. Am I the a-hole? Why hasn't all those people giving you a hard time stepping up and helping him out instead of hassling you? Don't know. Maybe they can't stand him either. First of all, tell his family to watch her themselves. And then tell them to F off. Where were they when he ignores his child? Block them all. Not the a-hole. He refuses to see his daughter as his own, so you have no need to see his daughter as your own. He needs to own up to ostracizing you and your daughter and find a babysitter. It's just a weird thing to ask your ex, who hates you, to babysit your child. Some people just have no shame. Last story. Am I the a-hole for calling off the wedding after my fiancé gave his ex closure without telling me? I, 28 female, have been with my fiancé Tom, 30 male, for 3 years. He and his ex, Sarah, were together for 6 years before we met. And she's been a shadow hanging over our relationship the entire time. At first, I understood. They shared a lot of history, and breakups can be tough. But we're supposed to be each other's future now. We're planning our wedding, building a life, and I thought he was done with the past. A month ago, Tom got a random message from Sarah asking for closure. He didn't tell me about it, and instead of ignoring it or at least discussing it with me, he responded and met up with her. I found out when I saw a message on his phone that said, "Thanks for last night." My heart dropped. When I confronted him, he swore nothing physical happened, saying he stayed over until early morning just talking. I don't believe him, and worse, he got defensive, calling me insecure for feeling betrayed. He said Sarah deserved closure, and that I should understand since he's with me now. The more we talked, the more I realized he doesn't think he did anything wrong. I tried to explain how hurtful it was that he hid this from me, especially when he didn't need to, but he made me feel like I was the problem for being jealous of a friendship. Then came the kicker. Tom had the audacity to tell me this needed to happen so we could truly move on. He even suggested that Sarah should come to the wedding as a friend to show everyone there's no bad blood. I was stunned. How could he think it's appropriate to invite his ex to our wedding? Someone he apparently still feels the need to support? I've since called off the wedding, saying I need time to think, but my family and friends are split. Half say I should be able to trust him if he says nothing happened, while others think I'm totally justified. Meanwhile, Tom has been telling our friends that I'm controlling and making a big deal out of nothing, and now I'm second-guessing myself. Am I the a-hole for putting my foot down, or am I overreacting to something that really was innocent? He stayed there overnight for closure? Just how long does closure take? Not the a-hole, and he is bad-mouthing you to everyone, which only confirms your choice. I wonder how he'd feel if he spent the night with your ex. Exactly. I can only imagine the outrage if the tables were turned and I'd stayed over with my ex. Somehow, it's okay for him to pull something like this, but if I'd done it, I'm sure he'd see it as a betrayal. It really shows a double standard and lack of respect for our relationship. I have come to a realization I deserve someone who values my trust as much as I valued his. Not the a-hole, you're the rebound. Opie, that whooshing sound you're hearing is from the bullet you dodged. The controlling comment was game over no matter what. Get everything that is at his place and block him. They can have each other. Right? That was the final straw. It just showed he was trying to twist things around and make me feel guilty for his shady choices. I'm definitely done with this. Time to get my things and move on. They're welcome to each other. Thank you for this.